Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you a really quick flip through just to give you an idea of what the history course year 1 from the Good and the Beautiful contains. So as you can see, when you purchase your history course, you're going to receive a course book, the big book of history stories, 4 read alouds which go with one unit in here, which I'll show you more in a second, and a game called the Keys of History, which is kind of like a board game to play to help your kids memorize some of the historical information that they're going to be learning about. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and show you guys. Like I said, this is not going to be an in-depth look at every lesson, but it will give you an idea of how they're laid out. Okay, you guys, so one of the best parts about this is that this is the history course I am using to teach all 4 of my kids. And my kids are ranging from 6th grade to 1st grade. So this is a year 1 course book. The first thing you see are the table of contents. What I love about this history course is that they're done in units. So you do ancient history, the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the French and Indian War through the Revolutionary War, and then the last unit is on these eras. Now, some courses go a whole year in one of these time periods, but I am excited about having these different time frames to learn about, and I know my kids will be too. Every history year that you order from them, whether it's year 2, year 3, they all will cover 4 different units in them. So it's nice to look at these. There's a total of 60 lessons in this whole book, which is important when you're planning out how you want to teach your school year. This breaks down the Christian worldview and what you basically have to nod yes to agree with these if you want to use this course. Otherwise, it might not be for you. And then it gives you special instructions if you're teaching, kindergartners. It talks about that history game I showed you. And so lots of good information here. It gives read aloud suggestions. So here are some of the memorization things that your kids will be learning throughout the year, memorizing these different things. And then once you get to the read aloud section, there of course is the read aloud that they included, but there are also more read alouds. So you are free to check those out from the library, purchase them, whatever you want to do. The read alouds that came with my pack were the American Twins of the Revolution, Nori Ryan's song, The Door in the Wall, and The Golden Goblet. So 1 book per history unit unless you want to add more. And then it continues on with the readers here. So unit 1 starts off in ancient history, and you can see at the beginning of all the lessons it has any extra items you'll need. And it is kind of scripted, not quite as scripted as other curriculums I've seen, which I kind of like. But it gives you instructions on what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to read, and it kind of starts off there. So let's flip to kind of the middle of the course book. And here it will tell you your extra items that are needed, the lesson number you're on, read to the children. And so you'd read this aloud to them. Read The Life of the Night, starting on page 53 in the History Stories book. So it signals you when you're coming over here, which I'll show you that in a second. And then continue on reading, play the audio, read to the children. Kind of a cool little thing here to study with them. A chance to make a shield. And that is basically going to be a whole lesson. So as you can see, they're very laid out for you, very user-friendly. Now this History Stories book includes maps and images, and it goes with your course. So some beautiful stories, illustrations in here that go all the way through. So some fun stories to read to your kids with illustrations in them if your kids like pictures like mine do. So it basically goes with this, and in here indicates when you're reading from here. The Keys of History game is something that we'll play when it's recommended in here. It's basically a board game with cards. I'm not going to open it up because it's kind of hard to do on camera, but you can see the back, what it shows you here. And it should be really fun for them to see who is retaining history information. So this is everything you get when you order The Good and the Beautiful Year 1 History. If you guys have any questions, post them in the comments below and I will be happy to answer them. And if you like this video and enjoyed this flip through, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, the link to purchase any Good and the Beautiful curriculum is in the description box below. And I will see you guys in my next video.